We haven't talked to Maserati Marv yet, but we've talked to a lot of members of the draft class. There's a lot of excitement with what the Cardinals have done with this draft class, starting with Harrison, but also with Darius Robinson and Max Melton and the like. A lot of guys are going to come in and play right away, maybe carve out roles for themselves.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned earlier, when you look at Marvin Harrison Jr., just the way he presents himself, he's got star written all over himself. Tons of drip in that guy, right? So I wonder what that's going to be like. If he hits the NFL, bam, and pops from week one, what is it going to feel like? Is he going to be Deion-esque? What will the connection between him and K1 going to be? Very, very exciting to me.
Yeah. Aaron Schatz, who writes for ESPN, used to do Football Outsiders. He put out a piece today ranking the draft classes of the 21st century, so basically starting with 2000 on. And the genesis of it was, I don't think anybody will ever top the greatest single draft by one team in 1 year ever. This is the 50th anniversary of the Pittsburgh Steelers drafting 4 Hall of Famers in the same class. That will never happen again. They got Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, Jack Lambert, and Mike Webster all in the same draft class.
Holy cow.
Cornerstones of 4 Super Bowl champions.
The Bears once had 2 first-round picks and used them to draft Gale Sayers and Dick Butkus. That was pretty good
draft haul.
That was pretty good.
So Aaron Schatz starts with the 21st century. He's got the top 12.
Okay.
2006 Denver Broncos. That was the Jay Cutler year. 2001 Cincinnati Bengals. 2017 New Orleans Saints. And I'll just glaze over these real quick till we get to the meat. 2014 Oakland Raiders, number 8, 2005 Cowboys, 2006 Bengals, 2018 Baltimore Ravens. Now you're getting into the top 5. And Cardinals fans are thinking, what about that 2004 class? That was a pretty good class. It wasn't number 5. That's the 2012 Seahawks. 2008 Atlanta Falcons, number 4. He's got the Cardinals draft class of 2004 ranked number 3 overall.
Wow.
And he writes, the biggest star from this draft was number 3 selection, Larry Fitzgerald, who will eventually make the Hall of Fame after a 17-year career. It's eye-popping that he only was named a first-team All-Pro once. I didn't know that off the top of my head. Second-round pick Carlos Dansby was never named first-team All-Pro or even a Pro Bowler, but he was a regular starter at linebacker for 4 teams over 14 NFL seasons. That whole draft class, by the way, and this is by far the best the Cardinals have done on this front. And, man, I wish this mouse worked on this computer. Fitzgerald 1, Carlos Dansby in the 2nd round, Darnell Dockett in the 3rd, Alex Stepanovich in the 4th. Antonio Smith was a sleeper in the 5th. He had a very good career.
He did.
And then Nick Leckie and quarterback John Navarre.
Do you remember what Antonio Smith's nickname was, Jarrett?
No.
Do you, Vinny?
No.
Darnell Dockett gave him an infamous nickname.
Is it suitable for air?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fart box. You can look it up. It's a true story.
When you cannot function.
I call a foul. It's not on his Pro Football Reference page.
Oh, well, yeah, it certainly should be, right?
And I don't think I've ever heard that.
You never heard that?
No, if I did, I forgot it, but I think I would remember Fart Box. So they got 4 really good players. By the way, the only 2 draft classes above them, the 2004 San Diego Chargers. That was the year they drafted Eli and ended up with Phillip Rivers. But they got Nick Hardwick, the center, Nate Kading, a 3rd-round pick as a kicker, and it worked out. Michael Turner at running back. And their number 1 draft class, 2006 New Orleans Saints.
All right, I don't mean to derail you, but I stand slightly corrected. Fart Box was Antonio Smith's nickname for Darnell Dockett.
Oh, man.
So you know, that's way back in the day. That was one of those details that came through when the Cardinals made their run to the Super Bowl.
Wow. There was a lot of details.
Yeah, well, because everyone wanted to know everything about everybody on the team.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to derail you with that.
It's not on his Pro Football Reference page either. Come on, Pro Football Reference, get on it. Every stat you can think of. You don't have the nicknames. Again, that was a great draft class, and it was out of the ordinary for the reputation of the Cardinals. Even going way back, you remember the Cardinals in the '80s, even before they moved to Arizona. They were one of those teams that would routinely, almost annually, get just killed for their draft picks.
Yes.
When it was headed up by George Boone.
Yeah.
Was the guy.
Well,
the
he was dreadful. When you take a look at Dennis Green was the one behind that draft. He was the guy basically selecting the players,
He nailed it.
And that was one thing Dennis Green did really, really good. Dennis Green had a certain eye for a certain type of football player. And he was pretty good, and he was never better than he was in that draft. Yeah. So that draft basically 4 years later produced the foundation for a Super Bowl run.
Yeah, foundation for one Super Bowl run, which ended short. But again, to go back to 50 years ago, finding 4 Hall of Famers who won 4 Super Bowls in one draft.
It's unbelievable.
And it's not like scouting was much different 50 years ago, too.
Yeah. So maybe by that criteria, that's where the Super Bowl is going to fall. For our next Super Bowl is going to fall within 4 years of Monty Ossenfort beginning to bring players in here.
There you go.
There you go.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.